Rockefeller Center, a place where people come for family fun, ice skating, and a chance to witness TV history. But nearly every Friday night, the streets outside this New York tourism staple becomes home to a group of dedicated hopefuls, waiting throughout the cold, rainy, sometimes even snowy nights to hear the words, "Live from New York, it's Saturday night!" The first time I stood in line for Saturday Night Live was January 28th, 2011, for the Jesse Eisenberg-Nicki Minaj show. I was 11th in line for the live show that night, and had just gotten to the elevators that would take me up to the 9th floor where Andy Samberg, Bill Hader, Keenan, Seth Meyers, and the rest of the gang were all getting ready for the show. When... rejected. Only numbers 1, 2, and 3 got into the show that night. But I thought, I'll get in next time. Friday, April 9th. Time to try again. I arrived at the line, which had been there since 12 o'clock earlier that day. By the time I had set up my chair and claimed my spot as 18th in line, it was 5 o'clock. Only about 10 minutes later, the line grew to almost 30 SNL hopefuls, and I went to meet my neighbors. All right. So here we are. We're here with
Jordan.
Joanne. Okay, and you guys are from where?
Toronto, Canada.
You guys, have you ever done the standby line before?
Yeah, we did it about 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Our last time that we did a trip to New York. And it was fun. We got in. We were first in line that time. But we put a lot more effort into it than we did this time.
Right now, what part of the line would you say you are?
We're about 20 in the line, yeah.
And what time did you guys get here?
About 5 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
So what do you think you guys are going to go for, the dress rehearsal or the live show?
I think we're going to risk it and try to get into the live show.
Not sure yet.
Yeah.
You kind of have to play the odds when it gets close. Like when they hand out the tickets, they'll show you if you're everybody will say dress rehearsal or live, and then they'll kind of give us a tally once they get to us. So if no one's going to the live one, then we'll go to that. If no one's going to the dress, maybe that. But you kind of have to play the odds.
So what are you guys doing to chill out, just kind of pass the time?
What, here tonight?
Yeah, tonight.
I have my iPhone.
There's magazines.
Magazines.
Our friend Amanda came
Yum
to visit
Yums.
us.
Yum Yum.
We brought Yum Yums.
And it's just the line itself is kind of entertainment, so it's fun.
You guys camping out for SNL?
I'm Tarek.
Peter.
Max.
How long have you guys been here? What time did you get here?
We got here around 5.
So have you guys ever done this before then, or?
I've done it 4 times before, and I've gotten in twice out of the 4 times.
50% Sunday, I guess.
Yeah.
I've gone once before, the last time I went for the Strokes. So we came at, I think, 3 or 1:30, and we were way farther back. So.
I lost my...
Yeah, I have yet to do it, so this is my first time. It's pretty awesome.
So what are you guys doing to pass the time, anything, or?
Well,
eating pizza.
Male bonding.
Yeah, nothing weird about that. I don't know. We were drawing before, just trying to stay warm, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Avoiding the rain, although we're not really doing much to avoid it.
Okay, so do you guys plan on sleeping tonight or all-nighter?
I don't want to sleep. I don't know about that.
Well, we brought sleeping bags. Last time I came, just late and it maybe got 2 hours of sleep, but it is the cliche city that never sleeps, and there's always going to be lights above you and people walking past you asking what you're doing, so you probably won't get sleep, but just rest, I guess. I don't know.
I'm Katie.
Emily.
Tanya. Lacey. Veronica.
So who are you here to see tonight? Just SNL in general, or?
Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters, all right.
The first time I did this was in 2003 and it rained. And we did this last year. It was snowing.
What are you guys doing just pass the time? You're going to be here till 7 a.m.
We're probably going to eat a lot.
I was talking about going to get some
run
real fast.
Now. Coffee.
We have magazines. I have a book.
She brought a game.
I have a travel Yahtzee game.
She's got travel Yahtzee, which I've never played.
I've never Nobody knows how to play this, but I'm like, what? Wait, I'm gonna shake the dice and we're gonna do the Yahtzee. I'll probably wake everybody up.
Do I think? I could tell you, I've been to the show so far 46 times.
Yeah.
Well, that's nothing compared to him, but that's different. Yes, that's.
Is that the amount of times you've gotten in, or just waited in?
That's what I've gotten in. I've been turned away 10 times, and I didn't bother with 7. So, from basically the last couple of seasons, basically, this is my my 57th camp out.
What has been your favorite show?
Ooh, there's a lot of great ones. All of them are special for different reasons. I got to say, the one that's been sticking out actually came from the season. It was Paul Rudd and Paul McCartney. As a matter of fact, was one that stuck out. I had a very special moment during that one because I had gotten a very good seat in the studio, and Paul was right under me coming back and forth with his band during the show. And at one point he did his first number, and right after he did, the place was going crazy. And I figured, okay, when he hears the applause, I'm sure he's going to look up and look at all of us. And he said, well, if he looks up and by the most random chance I can get eye contact with him. So he's going around, he's looking, place is going crazy, and then eye contact, locked. And I shoot him the thumbs up. And he notices that, points to me, and then up, and then all of a sudden shoots me a thumbs up right back from the studio floor.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, what do you prefer, rehearsal or live shows?
I love them both. Because each one has, their own unique things, even though rehearsal, you get an extra half hour and stuff gets cut. I think, both shows, are a thriller. I mean, just to be there to see them on either show doing what they do best.
I've been to about 640 shows.
Oh my gosh. That is
I went to the first show ever.
So, what's been your favorite then?
Oh gosh, it's really hard. A lot of recurring recurring hosts. Buck Henry, Tom Hanks, Alec Baldwin, Steve Martin, every one of them have all done wonderful jobs over the years. There are a lot of others too that have done more than one. Paul Simon, for instance, for a musical guest. Paul McCartney obviously is one of the best musical guests you can ever have here. I was thrilled to meet Paul McCartney myself, but when I first met him, he asked me, would you like to talk to him? I had to think of something to say to Paul. And he came down with Lorne Michaels, this was in November of 2006. He came down, and I walked over to him, which is about a distance over to the NBC sign over there. It's not very long. I had to think of something to say. I said, Paul, I remember when you were musical guest on SNL in February of '93. He turned to me and said, well, you must be a fan of the show. Lorne's standing alongside him and starts laughing. So Paul caught that, and he says, oh, you must be a big fan of the show. I said, well, yeah. I said, I went to show number 1. But there's so many people that come out of this show that I don't think it's ever going to end, because there'll always be room for more, really. As far as the best show is concerned, it's so hard. It's not always the host that makes the show. It's the writing also. If the writing is good, or if they do something fresh or something new and innovative, fine. Then you're going to have a good show. Musical guests naturally will also play a part in this too. If it's a great musical guest, fine. If it's one that, we've had those too. We've had good shows. We have bad shows. You never know.
So what, are you number 1 in line tonight, or?
I'm really not in line. I don't need to be. We do it occasionally, but when the weather is like this, it goes through our feet and things like little nippy here tonight. It's not terrible, but it's nippy. We don't need to do standby because in 1990, after the 15th season of SNL, I was granted a permanent seat.
Oh, nice.
So I was going every week without having to do standby, even though we do. Okay, as I said, we still did it because it was a lot of fun. And then when I met Jamie and brought her to New York, she was granted an automatic seat also. So we just go up every week. We come over to have fun with this line here is a social event for everybody, for the most part. And a lot of people have told me that even if you don't get into the show, standby is half the fun. And anyone who didn't get into the show will always come back and try it a second time. And once they get upstairs, and I think Chris mentioned this also, that once you get upstairs, you never want to come. You never want to leave. It's so wonderful up there.
7:00 a.m., Saturday morning. Time to hand out the tickets. Time for all the waiting to finally pay off. It was my turn to choose. 13 people had already chosen the dress rehearsal, while only 4 people had chosen the live. I chose my ticket, and I walked away with ticket number 5 for the live show. $10:45, Saturday night. Once again, face to face with those elevator doors. I finally made it.